Alright, so this video is sponsored by Alesis. They sent... Whoops. I should have read that label. They sent me their Nitro Max electronic drum set to check out, which is only $400. So I'm pretty excited to expand my E-kit knowledge. I've checked out a handful of E-kits in the past, but those were all from the same brand, so I'm curious to see what Alesis has to offer. The kit comes with a 10-inch dual zone snare, 3 8-inch single zone toms, and a single bass drum pad. And then what's a drum set without some cymbals? It comes with 3 10-inch cymbals, 2 of them are single zone, and 1 is chokeable. Then the kick and hi-hat pedal, nothing too crazy or special with those. And then this was kind of a surprise to me, you get a free 90-day trial of Drumeo with this kit. So feel free to yoink that code, assuming that you're the first person to watch this video. Then we got the boring stuff. It comes with sticks, a drum key, an Allen key, the tom arms, power cord, and some Velcro to manage all the cables. And now, the module. I've learned from my previous peels that we should take this knob off. Dang, that thing's on there. Well, I'm an idiot and wasn't recording when I peeled it off, so I put it back on, which will be just as satisfying as before. Man, that was so satisfying. I think I'm gonna click subscribe because that was so satisfying to watch. So this module has 32 built-in kits. If we go to the last one, you'll see that it goes to 48. That's because there's 15 presets that you can make yourself. There's also 60 built-in songs, plus a bunch of other features that we'll get into later. It has Bluetooth connectivity. There's also room to expand your kit if you want. And probably the most interesting thing about this is there's a phone holder on it. So now that leads us to the final piece of the puzzle, the rack. Okay, so E-kit racks are typically pretty simple and self-explanatory, which this one definitely is. But one thing that's kind of annoying, let me get rid of this real quick, is that all of the rack connections use an Allen screw, which is why they provided you with an Allen key. So let's put this snare arm on, and then we can sit here and tighten this. Which is slightly annoying because it takes more time, and Allen keys are really finicky and are really easy to drop, especially on screws that are upside down. So it's kind of like when you have a snare drum and you need a screwdriver to adjust the snare straps when they easily could have just put screws on for a drum key. So it's kind of the same thing with this. It would have been nice if there was a drum key or even just a wing nut. Another very slight annoyance is with this DB25 connector. This is the cable that connects the module to all of the pads. So this end just plugs into the module, and then these 2 screws are what holds it on. So now this cable is nice and tight and it won't pull out, but usually on these connectors, the screws are captive on the connector so they don't fall out of the connector. But these are just loose, and I don't think them backing out while playing is a big issue, but more so when you're storing the kit or moving the kit or have the kit apart for whatever reason, you now have to keep track of these 2 tiny little screws, which I guess you can keep them wherever you keep the Allen key. Kit number 1. Pretty solid sounds. Kind of abrupt. Let's test the hi-hat. All right, couple different levels of opening. Hi-hat is pretty responsive. Really fat toms. All of these toms are super beefy. You think for as much as I've been playing electronic kits recently, I wouldn't be hitting rims. You think for how huge these toms sound, the kick and snare would be a little less dry. The hi-hat pedal on this kit is very responsive, so that's a major bonus. The snare sounds really familiar. If you know that song, you're probably old. Alright, so now let's dive into the songs. So I'm noticing that all of the songs just loop forever and ever, which is pretty nice when you're practicing or just jamming along because you can play as long as you need without having to restart the song. Of course, with all the songs, you can add a click, and it actually tells you how in time you are, or at least how in time your snare hits are. There are drums on the songs too, but I've had them muted this whole time. You can change the song volume, you can change the song tempo, and all that kind of stuff. Plus, you can pick whatever kit you want to jam along with the songs. Sounds like a Carter Beeper snare. Now these next couple tracks are a perfect example of why it's nice that these just loop forever. Way back when I had to learn a basic jazz beat in bossa nova and a bunch of other random beats, having an E-kit like this with a bunch of loops would have been really nice because it makes practicing more interesting, but also helps you develop phrases because you have an actual rhythm and melody to go off of and not just a click. And there's even a couple tracks with just drums on them, which is always fun to switch it up and jam with just drums. Now sure, it would be cool to have some songs with the actual song structure, but you have Bluetooth for that. You just connect your phone to the module and then play a song, and it goes directly through the module into your headphones, so you don't have any more cables to hook up. So I gotta say that this is a pretty solid kit. There's still a couple features on the module that I didn't really talk about, so I'll leave a link if you want to really nerd out about this and figure out every single little thing that you can do with this. But another kind of big feature with this kit is you get a free download to the BFD player, so you can hook up the module to your computer and have even more sounds. It's a standalone player, so you don't need a DAW, but you get more kits as well as more control with the kits and controlling the sounds. So once again, I'll leave links if you're interested in checking out this kit yourself. And the first electronic kit I got, I said I was gonna put in my office, but since then I've gotten like 3 or 4 more, so I guess this one's going in the dining room.